So we just looked at two very powerful, free and relatively simple techniques to retarget people back to your site. So you're starting to get a feel for what this whole retargeting thing is all about by now, I'm sure. Now, I said in a previous lecture that you should use those free techniques until you start to get your whole business is starting to grow, you're starting to make money, you're starting to make decent profit. And once you've got to that point, you then might want to start looking at retargeting with Facebook. Now, this is a huge subject, and in fact it's growing as well. It's amazing what you can do with Facebook in terms of retargeting. So this lecture is relatively short, and the idea here is to just whet your appetite as to what is possible. So I'm going to sort of start with a very simple example, which is going to get your creative juices thinking of what's possible, okay? But just to repeat, please don't get bogged down in this unless you are really starting to do really quite well with your site and you've got a bit of money in the bank to play with, because of course this is a paid technique, right? Unlike the last two. So what I'm going to look at is how you're going to get people back to your site who previously visited it. Yeah. So basically people who've come to your site and they've done whatever on your site, whether they bought, whether they added to cart, whether they just had a look, whatever it might be, we want to basically bring those people back. Okay, so that's a very simple problem, equation, whatever, that we want to solve. Okay, and of course we're talking about people who have a Facebook account. Yeah, Facebook can't retarget people on any old website. They've got to have a Facebook account. Okay, in the first place. Now there's 1.7 billion or whatever it is people with Facebook accounts, so there's a good chance. But we're not talking about everybody here on the internet. It's purely people with Facebook accounts. So let me show you how you can set this up. So the first thing you want to do is, from your menu system, you want to find the audiences. So if I click into here, I go to all tools, I can find it here under assets. And again, yours might be a slightly different setup, but you'll be able to find it relatively easy. So once you're there, just click on audiences. And you'll be presented with this page, reach the people who matter to you. And you can see there are three options. There are custom audiences, lookalike audiences, and saved audiences. And what I'm going to talk about are custom audiences right now. This is the one that you want to get going with in the first place, should you choose to do this form of retargeting. And if you read it, it says, connect with the people who have already shown an interest in your business or product. Okay, that's the key. Okay, you can create audiences from your custom contacts, website traffic, or mobile app. Well, in the beginning we don't have any customer contacts and we don't have a mobile app to talk about either. So what we're going to be talking about is primarily website traffic. So if we click on create a custom audience, you get a bunch more options. Now, I told you this was complicated, so again, I'm taking you to the most effective way to start this in the beginning. And what you want to go with is website traffic, okay? Create a list of people who visited your website or took specific actions using the Facebook pixel. All the things that we've set up in the past, we can now start to really leverage and get advantage of. So when I click on website traffic, I get this little form that pops up, create my custom audience. Now what this will do will retarget, if you just look at these defaults here, all of my website visitors in the past 30 days. So anybody who had visited my site in the last 30 days, I can create an audience and then I can retarget them on Facebook. Okay, that is enormously powerful. Now if we just explore this a little bit further and click on this drop down arrow, we do get various other options. People who visited a specific web page on my site I might want to target. Or if we go down here a bit further and add to cart, or maybe just viewed any page. But if we just leave it the simplest version for the time being, all website visitors, so that I can demonstrate to you how we would actually use this, then I'm just going to give it an audience name. So I'm going to call it all website visitors last 30 days. Okay, and of course I could change that number. I could go 30 days or 60 days. 30 days is a pretty good starting point. So then all I want to do is create my audience, and you arrive on your audiences page where this is the first audience that you will have created. Now just to remind you, if I hover over this, this is a custom audience, all right? So now I'm going to show you how we would actually use that. So just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to head over here and quickly create a new campaign. So let's go to conversions as always, and we'll just call this one, whoops, test. Now what I want to do is go straight to the audience section. And as I just reminded you, we're talking about custom audiences, so this is where it would appear. Now if you put the cursor in here, your predefined custom audiences are going to pop up. So here you see it, all website visitors last 30 days. Now at the moment, because this thing has just been set up, and of course I'm just doing a test site, there really isn't any significant data in there of use. But if you were to set this up right in the beginning, for example, just literally just set up this custom audience, then Facebook over time will be gathering that information. That bit's not going to cost you anything. And then if later on down the road you want to make use of it, you have a very valuable asset that you can really take advantage of. So I hope you can see just with that brief demonstration the power of retargeting with Facebook. Now, as I said before, this is a paying technique, and my general advice to anybody, in fact anybody in business, is to manage your cash flow carefully. Don't be necessarily tempted to throw a lot of money at this in the beginning. When you are making money, when you do have a proven product, then come to this and it's going to give your sales potentially a huge boost.